Så lykkedes det langt om længe. Finally! I have had technical issues for the last 15 minutes on my computer here, so we could not start it, but now we are on air. Finally. In the corner of my screen down here it says Facebook live starts, and then just for 15 minutes. And nothing happens whatsoever. But now we are on air, luckily. Today we'll do everything in English. Just a moment. So, we'll do everything in English today due to some students that we have to join us today. They're very curious on migration patterns in Denmark, and also the challenges and problems that you have faced in your process of getting family reunification, visa, and all that. So we will try to do this in English because one of the students are not familiar with the Danish language. She's an American, actually. So let's try to do it in English. So if you are here, Kara, then you can try to say hello in the comment sections, and try to tell who you are and what you are looking for specifically. And Mathilde and your friend there, who is also do the same kind of research program, you can also join in the comment if you want. And by the way, I can tell you that I'm your host today. My name is Kim Pedersen Nyberg. I give legal advice in Ægteskab Uden Grænser on a daily basis. And I have done that since 2007. So, Kara, if you're on the video now, then you can write your text in the comment section. And while she's doing that, all the rest of you who watch here, you're also welcome to start writing about the challenges and whatever you have been going through that might help these students in their research programs. I think that will be a good use of the time. Mille, you're asking the question, do you know if it's best to go to Greece or to Spain if you want to go the EU way? You can go to any EU country of your own choice. The rules are the same in every EU country. Written down in the EU Directive 2004/38. and that is common for all the EU countries. So it's completely up to you which country you want to go to, as long as it is an EU country or EEA country. Maria B. Hansen, you say, hey, my name is Maria and I'm a Danish citizen married to a Tunisian citizen. We are trying to find a way to create a stable life and home here in Denmark, and we found out it's not that easy. I love your new haircut, Kim. It suits you. Thank you. My wife did it yesterday, so just a trimmer, and that's it. When the hair gets too long, then time to remove it. And then we have Kara here, who sent this message. Hello everyone, my name is Kara. I'm a photojournalism student at the Danish School of Media and Journalism, DMJX. I'm working on a portrait or interview series telling the stories of Danish international couples facing challenges living together in Denmark due to immigration law. So if you have anything there that can contribute to her, and it does not matter if it is family reunification based on common child, if it is spouse reunification, the FA1 line of permits, or if it is on normal EU law. So chime in with all your comments. It will all contribute to her research. Mille, you follow up, say thank you. Is it for sure that I can bring my husband, or can they deny my husband to enter EU? There are only certain grounds for refusal when you exercise your right to EU law, or free movement in EU law. And that is that your address is fake, or pro forma, as it is called in the legal terms. Your relationship is pro forma, or either of you that's either of you are a threat to the national security or national order, national health. If the authorities cannot say that one of these apply to you, then they have to issue a visa, and they also have to later on, if you fulfill the requirements for that, have to give a EU residence card. Kara, you also follow up. You say thank you all also for doing this meeting in English, for my understanding. If you want to meet with me to talk about this, you're free to message me on Facebook or reach me, and then she put the phone number and email address. So you can contact her there. You can see her telephone number and email address in her comment. So just go there if you want. So Kara, you can expect a phone storm in the next few hours, I think. So good luck with that. Maria says, one of the ways we have been researching is a job visa, positiv list for faglærte. And companies are very interested until they found out he's not here already. One of my questions is, can he come here on a tourist visa, go to job interviews, and if they want to hire him, can he apply for a job visa while he is here and stay? I have to say that I'm not that much knowledgeable on the different kind of work schemes. So I'm not the right one to ask that question, unfortunately. What I do mostly is in family reunification. But if you can get a visa to Denmark, then you have the possibility to have family reunification with him. And then when he has his permit, then he can go out to apply any kind of job suitable for him. Then we have Henrik. Hi everyone, my question is, under the EU family reunification rules, is it possible for the invited person to work in one country while the family reunification process is taking place in another? For example, if the invited person and the EU citizen are living together in Sweden, would it be possible for the invited person to work in Denmark with a valid Danish work permit without causing any issues for the family reunification process in Sweden under the EU rules? For that scenario that you put up here, where the person has a Danish work permit, it is completely legal to do that. But if there is no permit, it is a no-go. Mille, you follow up again. Again, thank you. We are both living in Tunisia now. I have lived for a year. I guess it's down there. But we don't have the same address. We are not married. If we get married, for how long do we have to be married before I can use my right to take him to EU? Instantly. The Danish authority, however, they will try to see how long have you had a relationship prior to your marriage. And that should be approximately a year. It's not written down anywhere, but approximately a year. If it is much shorter than that, then they will say this marriage might be a marriage of convenience. And if they consider it to be a marriage of convenience, or pro forma, then you will get denied. And that is regardless if you use the Danish rules or if you go EU route. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, Millie, then it is not a problem for you. You should be good to go. So that means because you have been married for nearly 2.5 years by now, you can take him with you instantly if you want. After the marriage. You're welcome, Henrik. I can see here that I have 10 viewers right now. If you have any questions or any knowledge that you want to share with us, then please chime in the comment section. Today we have at least one journalist student today watching also, and that is why we do it in English. She is not Danish, but I know that we also have 2 Danish journalist students doing basically the same kind of research. So I don't know if they're joining here today, but if they are also welcome to chime in the comment section. But please do in English, because we do it in English today only. Maria, that's okay. Thank you for always being so direct with your answers. We are also looking at the family reunification according to Danish law. I am unsure about the rules of my home. It says it needs to be a fitting size. I don't understand what that is. It says a number of people can't be more than double the amount of rooms, but it says if the apartment has fewer rooms, but they are bigger, 20 square meters per person. Right now I live alone in a rental apartment, 31 square meters in total, 1 room, and it's so lovely. Will it be fitting? Of course we will move at some point, but will it be approved as fitting size for the family reunification requirement? Here there are 2 options to go by, and you can choose either one. You don't have to fulfill both of them, and that is the misconception that a lot of people do. So the first one you can go by is you have a 1-room apartment that fits for 2 persons. You can also take the other route and say 20 square meters per person. That means a minimum of 40 square meters for the 2 of you. But because you already fulfill the first line I go through, then that is sufficient. It might be a little narrow, yeah, of course, but it's still legal for 2 persons. And then, as a bonus info, what will happen if you have a child? Then still you do not need to move. You can move if you want, and then you have to fulfill the requirement once again. But as long as you live in that apartment that you live in now, you don't have to move just because of a new family member. And from there we go to Jesper Berløv Nielsen. Hello Kim, I just wanted to say thanks for having this help. We have just succeeded family reunion for my wife and her children from Kenya. Everything just went smoothly, though. I think the last word should be though. But nice to know that everything goes smooth. Jesper, I would like to answer or ask you, have there been any questions along the way for you that you have been doubting? How to handle or how to fulfill it or like that? Could be nice to have that also. And what about for the rest of you? Has there been any questions along the way that you have been doubtful about? And how did you handle it? And another bonus info for all of you. When we finish this video session here, then you can see the video again anytime for almost a month before Facebook automatically erase it. I don't know why they do it, but they do. Christian has made a comment in Danish. I will read it up in Danish and then try to translate the basics in it. Min udenlandske kone og jeg er gået fra hinanden. Vi har boet sammen i 3 år i Danmark, været gift siden 2021, og hun har 2 børn for tidligere. Ønsker ikke, de bliver sendt hjem. Er der nogen chance for, at de kan blive i Danmark, hvis konen og jeg skilles, nu hvor vi ikke bor sammen? Eller gør det deres chancer værre? Er der noget, jeg kan gøre for at hjælpe dem til at blive? So the basic question here is that he has been married to a foreign woman for approximately 3 years. She has 2 children from a previous relationship, and he don't want them to be sent home. So he asked if there's any chance now that they are divorced, if they can remain here or if they have to go back home. Because they have not been married for more than 3 years, then I'm pretty sure that the immigration service will say that they have to go home, all of them. Jamil Jimmy, you have a question. If your residence permit is based on Aliens Act, Section 9C, point 1, that is, you live in Denmark as a parent of a Danish child. No, it is not. Is it then correct you are exempted from the employment requirement when applying for permanent residence? The residence permit based on a common child is in Section 9.1, number 4. It used to be in 9C, but it is not anymore. Now it is in if I can speak English, now it is in Section 9, subsection 1, number 4. if you apply for permanent residence as the rules are now, then you still have to fulfill the normal requirements, or that person need to fulfill the normal requirements for permanent residency. And that includes work full-time for at least 3 years and 6 months within 4 years. But I'm pretty sure that if this goes to the EU Court of Justice, then the court will say that there should be an automatic right to permanent residency after 5 years, just like it is by all those who follow the EU Directive 2004/38. But as of now, you have to fulfill the same rules as if you had family reunification based on your spouse, the FA1 line of permits. Let's see here. Jesper, as a follow-up, you said there has only been doubts. Personally, I didn't believe we would succeed. All I did was to reply all the questions the best I could do. Yeah. And then it's a success when you walk through it all and get the medal at the last. So that's good. Maria, you say, perfect, I have more questions, hope it's okay. Yes, it is. First, I want to tell Kara that our biggest problem is mostly understanding the rules. They are difficult to understand. I'm not sure why. Maybe they are poorly described. If we apply for family reunification and are waiting for the answer, can he apply for jobs? And if they want to hire him, can we apply for a job visa instead of the family before the family is processed? And if the family is denied while he's here, how long does he have before he needs to go back? He cannot work while his application is in process. If you have family reunification based on a common child, or if you are on EU law, that is different. Then you have the right to work while waiting. If you get denied, then he usually have a maximum of 14 days to get out of the country and get out of the entire Schengen area, in fact. Yeah. William, assume you move to Sweden. How fast would the process go from you settle there and your spouse can join you, assuming she needs a visa? You can invite her anytime after you have arrived to the other EU country. And with that invitation, your spouse can go to any VFS global offices around the planet to apply for a visa according to EU law. And there is a so-called non-binding guidance from the European Commission saying that processing a visa for more than 4 weeks is, quote, unacceptable, unquote. So that is the process there. But it is not a legal or a fixed time they have to do it within. It is only a guideline. Christian, what if we stay married but don't live together? Will they still get kicked out if Denmark now that we don't live together? We have used the EU law and got here by Germany. We have only been married since 2021. My wife has full-time job for 2 years now, and both kids are going to school. One kid is 20 and the other 17. That changed a lot of things here now. Because if you have told in the first message that you are here on EU law, then I have given you a completely different answer. Now you say that you are under EU law. You have been married for 3 years. That changed everything compared to what I told you just before. The rules are, and that is written down in Article 13 of the EU Directive 2004/38, if the person in question has been married to a union citizen for 3 years at least, of those 3 years has been living in the country where they live now for at least 1 year, and that person can provide for himself or herself, then they can get a permit on personal reasons, and then they have the right to remain here. But and that is what I referred to earlier, if you're here on, for instance, the FA1 line of permit, ægtefællesammenføring, then they would most probably be asked to leave the country and go home. But because you're here on EU law, that changed everything. William, you have a new question. Don't you need a Swedish personal identity number first, according to make the invitation for your partner? The Swedish authorities want you to do that, but it has no legal bounds. So you can actually do it the second after you pass the bridge to Sweden. How you do it, as long as it is in a written kind of way, how you do it is completely up to you. It just has to contain your full name as it is written in your passport, your partner's full name as written in his or her passport, your address in Sweden, and that you want that person to come over to you due to your exercising EU law. And that is basically all they need to provide a visa according to EU law. Jamil, what are the disadvantages of your residence permit is based on Aliens Act, Section 9C, subsection 1. I mean, if your child turns 18 and you don't obtain to get permanent residency. The disadvantages is that either the foreigner has to go back home to the country of origin, or they have to apply for family reunification, for instance, the FA1 line of permits, or you as a couple need to go through another EU country. But to do that, one of you needs to be an EU citizen. Maria, you say, thank you. If we apply for one kind of visa, can we change it and apply for a different one before the first one is done? No. I am pretty sure you cannot. And I can see here that Cara also have a comment to Maria. She says, that's good to know. It was according to, let's go up there. It's according to the question where she said that she has more questions. Hope it's okay. And she tells us about the difficulties about understanding all the rules. And then Carol responds saying, that's good to know. And I imagine navigating the rules can be nerve-wracking. Yeah. I wish you the best of luck with your application. Yeah, it can be nerve-wracking. I completely agree with that. William, you say, but I need to say if I am in Sweden as a worker or self-sufficient, or is that afterwards? You're only a worker if you live in Sweden and work in Sweden. If you cross the border to work, then you are self-sufficient. But you have to, it would be a good idea to mention that in your invitation. What they cannot demand when you apply or invite your partner over on a visa, what they cannot demand is financial ends. They can only ask for your financial ends when it comes to the application for EU residence card. Yeah. And because we started a little late due to technical issues, then we will go on with this one until about 5:15 today. So if you have any questions, chime in. And then William asked the question also, has anyone invited their spouse without Swedish identity number? Is it best to wait to get it? I will put that question out to the audience of this video. So reply to William J.S. if you have any answer on that. Legally, he can do it the very second he arrives to Sweden in order to move there. There's no requirement that he get the social first. Christian, is it best if my wife registers her moving out before I go through with the annulment or divorce? Or does it not matter which comes first? Should not matter. As long as she moves out. Then we have Nikki. I was married under EU law, but I'm now divorced. I've been living in Denmark for the past 4 years. How can I renew my residence permit? You do that at the Siri authority. Siri has headquarters in Valby, near Copenhagen. And then I have a name here that I don't know how to pronounce, so I will pronounce the second name, Sony. What if you get denied for family reunification to Denmark because you never visited Denmark? Do you think applying for a tourist visa will be guaranteed? The rules are here that you have to fulfill a visit requirement. And if you have not fulfilled that one, then you will be denied a family reunification. However, if you get a denial both on visa and a denial on family reunification, then you can send in both of those denials to the immigration service, because they cannot on one hand demand you to fulfill the requirements and then on the other hand put obstacles so you cannot fulfill it. So you can ask them to make a new decision, and that will usually be a visa as a result. Maria, you say, thank you, Kara. I have a question about the proof of funds you need to provide. 60,000 kroner in 2025, right? 59,000, basically. If you get approved as a spouse, get a child together and change it to visa to a child, do we get the money back? Yeah, you actually can have the money back. However, you have to apply it yourself at your town hall. It doesn't go automatic. William, you say, what does a wife need to prove at the VFS Global? Your invitation, her passport, her birth certificate. That should be it. Nikki, will I be able to renew the same residence permit, or do I need to apply under a different category? I just need to see what you wrote up here before. Just a minute. saw a message up here, and I answered that before. See if I can find it. No, I cannot find it. Nikki, what was that? What was that about? We discussed it earlier. Oh yeah, that was that you are now divorced under EU law. Um, I I guess, and it is only a guess, that you'll have to renew the same residence permit. I don't think you get a different category. Karina asked a question in Danish if it is possible to have permanent residency when you do not work. Which papers does the integration service need from doctors, etc.? It very much depends on why the person cannot work, what diagnosis the person has. I think they can exempt people from the requirement if that is really needed. But what papers they need from doctors and other authorities, I have no clue about. And Sony, we had met every requirement except visiting Denmark. That was only reason of denial for family reunification. Do you think applying for a visa as tourist for a few days or more a month to get granted visa? Yeah, if you have not tried applying for a visa before, then you have to apply for a visa first. But if, like I said before, if you have a denial on both the visa and on family reunification, then you can go that route that I just told you. But if you have not tried to apply visa first, then the denial for family reunification is obvious because you have not been here before. William, is there an interview process when she arrived to Sweden? There can be an interview process. However, it may not be automatic or systematic. They can only demand an interview if there is anything that they doubt is correct, or they believe that this might be a fake marriage or fake relationship or whatever it could be. Then they can do it, but it may not be on a systematic basis. Sony, you say here that you applied before and got denied. Then send in both of those denials and tell them that they cannot, on one hand, demand that you fulfill the visiting requirement, and on the other hand, deny you access to do it. So they have to give you a chance to do it. Maria says here, this is mostly a question for people in the middle of the process or have successfully done it. Or maybe you have an advice, Kim. Did you hire a lawyer to help you with the process of family reunification? And do you recommend it? Or is it not needed? I would say that you do not need it. Only if things get really complicated, then a lawyer could be a good idea. But else, organizations like this one are able to help you. We do it for free to everyone. That is a principle laid down when Ægteskab Uden Grænser was founded back in 1996. And that has not been changed at any time since. And we have actually made a lot of guidelines on our forum. I'm the author of basically all of them, but with some help from the rest of the legal team. If you go to our homepage, ægteskabudengranser.dk, then in the upper right corner, you see the word forum. And then on the middle of the screen, you also get the word forum. You click on both of them. And then you go into the section named Nyt fra EUG. And in there, you find from the top, you go to post number 2, which is a comprehensive list of step-by-step and know the rules and all that. And in there we have described exactly how the rules has to be interpreted, how to understand it, and how to exercise it. And we have written it in a kind of language so even a 4-year-old understands it, basically. So you can go in there and get a lot of help. You can also go to, there's several Facebook groups on Facebook where family reunification are the main subject, and you can get all the help you want there also for free. There are actually lawyers also in those groups who offer their services. However, they have to provide it for free in the groups. And they are not allowed to say, well, can you contact me in private and then we find out something. They're not allowed to do that. If they want to give advices on Facebook, it has to be for free all the time. See, what do I have? Karina, thanks for the answer. What diagnosis do you need to have to get permanent residency even you cannot work? That is a case-to-case assessment that I cannot answer. And I can see here that Jesper has replied to a comment from Maria. He says that you can do it yourself. And then he said, I did it. Many lawyers are charging a lot. Yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is that most lawyers in this country have no clue whatsoever about family reunification. Even they claim that they are specialists in immigration laws. But this one is absolutely not one of their favorites. So a lot of times you can actually find a lawyer who say, yeah, I can help you. Can you pay me first? And then they give you some bogus answers. There are only a very, very few lawyers who actually knows about what they're talking about. So if your case is really complicated and the Facebook groups can no more help you, then it is recommendable to get in touch with a lawyer, and then a group can help you to guide you to different kind of lawyers who knows about this. But most lawyers who say, yeah, I can help you, can you pay me first? Then you might be a little cautious, because they might only want to fill up their own pocket with money, and then they give you answers that you cannot use for any purpose at all. William, how long will the decision take after she has visited VFS Global, and how long does she have to travel to Sweden after the decision if it is accepted? Like I said in the beginning of this Facebook Live, when you exercise EU law, there is a non-binding guideline from the European Commission saying that a processing time exceeding 4 weeks is, and now I quote, unacceptable, unquote. It is not a fixed deadline. It is only a guideline. How long does she have to travel to Sweden after the decision is accepted? As long as she arrives to Sweden within the 90 days she has on her visa, then she can arrive anytime within those 90 days. Sony, what if I apply for tourist visa? Do you think or recommend mention the stay for 7 to 10? Or you think mentioning staying more than a month can have high chance of denial? They cannot use the duration as a reason for denial. So you put a number of days in your invitation, maximum 19, oh, no, not 19, 90, maximum of 90 days. And then the person can come here if the visa is approved. So that's how it works. Yeah. Can we take one more before we close down for today? Kara, maybe you have some closing comment? Sony, you're welcome. While I'm waiting to see if Kara has a closing comment, then I can say that next time I'm doing Facebook Live will be on December 7th. That will be the last Facebook Live for this year. And then we have a lot of questions again and my answers. So you're welcome there to join again if you want. Same time, same place. Kara says, thanks so much to you all for having me join today. Feel free to reach out if you would like to share your situation with me. Good luck to you all with your applications as well. And Maria says, I just want to say thank you. We are eternally grateful. Sony, yeah, there are places where you can ask me in private. You find my name. If you understand Danish, then you simply type in my name in the search box on Facebook. It is Kim Pedersen Nyberg. And then you can write me on Messenger in there. William, your closing question is, do you know if it's difficult to find housing in Sweden? It depends where you're looking. If you're looking in the Malmö region, it might be difficult. If you go a little outside Malmö, it might be easier. Yeah, by that, I would say thank you for chiming in. Thanks for all your questions. Thank you, Kara, for joining. See you in about a month's time. Have a good November.